3, 2, 1, 0.
Roger, the clock is operating. We're underway.
You're loud and clear.
Roger, we're programming and roll okay. A little bumpy along about here.
Roger. Stand by for 20 seconds.
Roger. We're smoothing out some now, getting out of the vibration area.
Roger, you're through max Q. Flight path is...
Roger, feels good through max Q and smoothing out real fine. Cabin pressure coming down by 7. Okay, flight very smooth now. Sky looking very dark outside.
All Roger, reading you loud and clear, 7. Cape is go. We're standing by for you.
Roger, Cape is go and I am go. Our capsule is in good shape. Fuel 103, 102, oxygen 78100. Cabin pressure holding steady at 58. Amps is 26. All systems are go, indicating 6G. Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around. Oh, that view is tremendous.
Roger, turnaround has started.
Roger, capsule turning around, and I could see the booster during turnaround just a couple of 100 yards behind me. It was beautiful.
Roger, 7. You have a go, at least 7 orbits.
Roger, understand go for at least 7 orbits. The Friendship 7 can see clear back a big cloud pattern way back across toward the Cape. We're all set. This is very comfortable at 0G. I have nothing but very fine feeling. It just feels very normal and very good. Have very little dirt floating around in the capsule, just a little bit, and preparing to take xylos still at present time. This Friendship 7, the head movements cause no sensations whatsoever. Feel fine. Reach test, I can hit directly to any spot that I want to hit. I have no problem reaching for knobs and have adjusted to 0G very easily, much easier than I really thought I would. I have excellent vision on the charts, no astigmatism or any malfunctions at all. I feel fine so far, over.
Roger, understand.
This is Friendship 7, have beautiful view of the African coast, both in the scope and out the window. Out the window is by far the best view. Part of the Canaries was hidden by clouds. Roger, how you doing, Gordo? We're doing real fine up here. Everything is going very well, over.
John, you sound good.
Roger, control fuel is 90100, oxygen is 75100, amps are 22. All systems are still go, having no problems at all. Control system operating fine, over. The only unusual thing I have noticed is a rather high, what would appear to be a haze layer, up some 7 or 8 degrees above the horizon on the night side. The stars, I can see through it as they go down toward the real horizon, but it's a very visible single band or layer pretty well up above the normal horizon, over.
Shortly, you may observe some lights down there. You want to take a check on them out to your right, over?
Roger, I'm all set to see if I can't get them in sight. Roger, I do have lights in sight on the ground, over.
Do you understand? They're just off to your right, then?
That's affirmative. Just to my right, I can see a big pattern of lights, apparently right on the coast. I can see the outline of a town and a very bright light just to the south of it. On down.
And Rockingham, you're saying that.
Roger, the lights show up very well, and I'll thank everybody for turning them on, will you?
Sure will, John.
Very fine.
Welcome, one and all. This Friday night looks like it's going to be a low-key one. So a smaller stream than normal, a little more intimate, a little less on the chat. Let's have some fun, guys. So, welcome to the stream. Hope you guys had a fun week. Got some fun things planned for the weekend. Yeah, so what was today?
Also, it's almost time for the big game. If you want the best coverage, make sure you check me out. I'll also be covering the XFL and everything NFL off-season on my Insta. #Skull.
There you go. Nick the Football Guy, thank you for coming in with the first... I can't speak tonight, guys. I went to bed at midnight. I woke up at 4:30. I'm running on fumes here. I need to kick it into gear for this stream. Welcome, guys. Nick, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Nick, thank you for bringing in the super chat before the stream even technically began. That was a very long intro. I was setting some things up. But Nick, thank you so much, man. Nick says, about to get on a plane home. Nice. My dad and I have been in D.C. for the last week to see some historic sites. How was your week, HG? Any Super Bowl plans? Well, that sounds like an absolute blast of a father-son trip. No question about it. That's where I actually proposed to my wife. We took a trip to D.C. in 2013. That was my first time up there. I loved it. Went to a ton of museums. Walked around aimlessly, which is something that we love to do whenever we visit a city. Walk around aimlessly and hop in and out of bars and restaurants, and it was an absolute blast. But, dude, that sounds like the best father-son trip. Just by location alone and seeing all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure it was a blast. The week was good. A lot of freelance stuff, little channel stuff here and there. Other than that, it was a good time. And my Super Bowl plans. For those of you who are used to me titling streams like, what's your favorite Star Wars movie or what's your favorite Star Wars quote, Friday Night Free-for-All is going to start being the thing, man. Friday Night Free-for-Alls there's no topic of a conversation. Let's just have fun, right? So, Super Bowl plans. I bought a ton of wings today. A ton of, not pre-made wings. They're, wings that still have the wing and the drumstick attached, and you cut it yourself and you make them yourself. We're baking a bunch of wings tomorrow night, me and my wife. I probably have 20 wings or so. If you cut them up individually, there's probably 40 wings. If you count both pieces. And I'm planning on eating a whole shitload of wings in the hours of the Super Bowl. So that's my Super Bowl plan. Put our daughter down for bed, watch the game, eat a bunch of wings, put some of those little mini wieners, you know what I'm talking about? What are they called? Like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, the mini hot dogs, put them in a crock pot with some barbecue sauce, snack on those, eat really bad, have a bunch of beer on the couch. That's about it, man. That's about it. But I appreciate that, Nick. And Nick, once again, also, it's almost time for the big game. If you want the best coverage, make sure to check me out. I'll also be covering the XFL. Interesting. I've never watched an XFL game ever. And everything NFL offseason on my Insta. Let me copy and paste that, Nick, into the chat. If you guys are into football, well, I have to type it because I can't copy and paste it for whatever reason. If you're into football, specifically American football, because I know we got a lot of international folks that watch this channel. I just posted Nick's Instagram there. He's posting a ton of football stuff. Always up to the minute with all sorts of fun stuff. But Nick, I don't understand why. That's the second time in 24 hours that a super chat has not popped up in the chat. That's very strange to me. But yeah. Mark, what's up, man? Mark says, half Frank's Red Hot, half garlic butter, dash of soy sauce will change your life regarding wings. I dig it. That sounds delicious. I made my own homemade fettuccine Alfredo tonight. Turned out pretty good. My first time ever making that. I actually have a bottle of Frank's Red Hot in the fridge. I also have a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's buffalo sauce. Sweet Baby Ray's, is it Carolina Gold or Honey Gold? I can't remember. And Sweet Baby Ray's Vidalia Onion and Sweet Baby Ray's original barbecue sauce. It was on sale. It was BOGO. It was BOGO. So, yeah, for me, Mark, since we're on the topic of wings, I'm a baseball guy myself, Isaac. But on the topic of wings, I usually go for like a Carolina mustardy sauce or like what's normally called like golden. I can't remember what it's called, but that's kind of usually what I go for. Kind of a mustardy barbecue sauce, but delicious. Sweet Baby Ray's is glorious. Yeah, it's like, I don't know if it's a nationwide thing. I'm assuming it's a nationwide thing, but it's good. Yeah, it's good. Dude, Mark, I don't know. There's a barbecue sauce, and you sound like a man that is speaking my language here. I don't know if you've ever had daddle pepper. Daddle pepper it's kind of a native pepper from where I'm from, St. Augustine, like Jacksonville. I don't think it originated there, but that's where it's kind of like when people think of daddle pepper, that's what they think of, I think, or maybe that's just an American thing. I don't know. But if you've never had daddle pepper, I highly recommend this sauce right here. Chef Phil's Badass Barbecue. Let me see. So, obviously, I'm not sponsored by Chef Phil here. Come on, internet. What's going on with this? Oh, maybe it's Chef Phil's website. All right, Mark. I'm not going to steer you wrong here. I'm copying and pasting this link in the chat, Mark. Just for Mark. I know nobody cares about this, but I highly recommend. They're all good. They're all really good. Oh, he doesn't have his mustard one on here. Must be sold out. They're all great. I recommend. Well, my favorite one I think is just the original Chef Phil's Daddle Pepper Barbecue Sauce. This guy, Mark, this is like ultra micro small batch stuff. He grows his own daddle peppers and he makes his sauce himself. I actually met the guy a couple months ago at like a little art fair, and he was just out there selling his barbecue sauce. And dude, it is so good. It's so good. Daddle pepper. Yeah, exactly. Scotty Arms. Speak my language. Daddle pepper sauce at Firehouse Subs is amazing. One of my all-time favorite sauces. It's yeah, it's daddle peppers. It's on its own. It's a very, very hot. It's like, I don't know. It's like 10 times hotter than a jalapeno. But when it's actually utilized in a barbecue sauce or a sauce, like it's very sweet and it's just delicious. Can't recommend it enough. This could be a stream all about daddle pepper barbecue sauce or daddle pepper sauces. And I would not be bored one bit. Yeah, check it out, Mark. I don't. Oh, $8. Okay. What's he cost? Or if only he knew that I was talking about him, he'd be so confused. Just a random guy who makes his own sauce, man. View cart. Let's see how much the shipping is.
HG.
Oh.
Pulled the trigger on your book and is expecting to have it delivered any day now.
Nice.
Also learned that Alan Harris, who played Borsk and was in the Proto-Boba suit, passed away. Lastly, Jalapenos epic.
Sapity, thank you so much for the channel support this evening, man. I greatly appreciate that. Where did that go? Calculate shipping. Oh my, I'm not going through this, but check it out, Mark. All right. And Sapity, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support this evening, man. Extremely generous this evening. Hope you have fun weekend plans for you. Sapity says, good weekend, HG. Pulled the trigger on your book and is expecting to have it delivered any day now. Nice, man. Also, I learned that Alan Harris, who played Bosk and was in the Proto-Boba suit, passed away. Lastly, jalapenos equal epic and delicious, right? I actually hadn't heard that. Let's see. Is he also miscellaneous crew for Hellraiser? Is that what he's really most known for? Interesting. He's also Leia's rebel escort in A New Hope. He's a Bosk and he's a Bespin security guard, uncredited. And he's a random stormtrooper, uncredited in Return of the Jedi. Interesting. I knew about Bosk. With a lot of those kind of people, they often played different roles and whatnot. But let's see. Oh, it doesn't look like he was born in 1938. They don't have his. Okay, yeah, he was 81. Okay, interesting. I'll read a little bit here. Harris played several different roles in the original trilogy, most notably Bosk in The Empire Strikes Back. He also portrayed a stormtrooper in all 3 films. The British actor from Middlesex passed away on Saturday morning after battling with ill health. Imperial Signings confirmed his death on their Facebook page, saying, very sad. Alan had battled health issues. It's crazy to think about. I think about this often, Sapity, how, A New Hope is over 40 years old, right? Over 40 years old. 43 years old now. And that's very hard to believe. That's half a lifetime, I mean, legitimately, that's half a lifetime. And this movie still resonates. That franchise, that movie that kicks it off is my favorite. A 43, almost a half a century old movie is my favorite Star Wars movie, It's hard to believe, but it's going to continue to get weirder as we all get older, right? Seeing our heroes and the people that we watched on the big screen. Definitely strange, but I hope you enjoy the book, man. The reception to it has been mind-blowing to me. I keep getting all sorts of DMs and people telling me they like it, and the reviews on Amazon have been great, and just kind of, putting it out there, Sapity, and this, is very nerve-wracking. It took me a while to kind of pull the trigger and put it out there, just because it's pretty personal, but I'm glad I did. Because a lot of people seem to be finding, I don't know, maybe a little something in it that maybe they get out of it, But yeah, Sapity, I greatly appreciate that support on all fronts. And yeah, jalapenos are great. Unless, where I don't really care for jalapenos, Sapity, on this Friday night free-for-all live stream, is, if there's a pizza. Pizza's the best example, right? I like jalapenos when, I like jalapenos on their own, don't get me wrong, but I like jalapenos when they're, pickled or something like that. There's something to them. When you order a pizza that has, at a really nice pizza place, right? Like a Mellow Mushroom, right? This is a good example. Kind of a chain Mellow Mushroom restaurant, but it's good. It's great pizza. And you order a pizza that says it has jalapenos on it, and you expect they're going to do something with these jalapenos, right? Right? No, all they do is a guy with a glove in the back just scoops into some jalapenos and throws them on the top. I don't know. Do something with them. Don't just throw raw jalapenos on the top of a pizza. Anyway. But yeah, Sapity, I greatly appreciate that, man, and you'll have to let me know. And, who is next? Let's see. Ellendill6668 and Vince Wynn. Ellendill, thank you so much for the channel support this evening, man. I greatly appreciate that. Hey, mate. How do you see the chances in seeing Anakin Skywalker / Hayden Christensen in the Obi-Wan series? Golly, man. So I don't think we'll see a Hayden Christensen. Will there be Darth Vader? Because I'm assuming this is going to take place when all hell has broken loose and Obi is kind of on the run, right? And so, will we see Vader? The time period seems perfect for them to milk that, right? Well, who's the main bad guy now? Darth Vader. Oh, we gotta have him in there. Personally, I don't really want to see him. I kind of want this to be its own self-contained Obi-Wan story, void of any characters we're already familiar with. Just kind of living on Tatooine, smaller scale, hiding out, and laying low, So, the chances, I think, of seeing Darth Vader, not necessarily Anakin unmasked or Hayden Christensen unmasked, in my opinion, seeing Darth Vader is probably pretty high because I don't think they can help themselves milking that. But yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Like I said, the reason I like The Mandalorian, one of the reasons I like The Mandalorian is because it is a self-contained thing. So far, right? There's not many connections. It's kind of a self-contained thing. I like that. That appeals to me. Not everything needs to have a character that we're already familiar with shoved in, right? And if we have an Obi-Wan show, a series of Obi-Wan episodes, I think the strong point would be introducing entirely new tales and stories utilizing Ewan McGregor.
The same age my dad was when he took me to see it in '96. In 3 years my daughter will be old enough to watch. 3 generations watching together will be amazing.
That is awesome, Mark. Mark, thank you so much for the incredibly generous super chat this evening, man. I greatly appreciate that. You probably know this. I have a daughter. She's almost she's 22 months. She's gonna be 2 years before I know it, right? So I have very yeah. Give me one sec. We'll talk about that for sure. But Ellendale, thank you so much, man. And I kind of hope we don't. But I don't think they can help themselves, right? Yeah. Anyway. And Vince Wynn, thank you so much for the channel support as well, man. It's good to see you as always, Mr. Vince. Vince says, grabbed me a bottle of Daddle Pepper sauce. Oh, that Sorensen sauce, man. Captain Sorensen. Last time I went to Firehouse, I'm an addict now. Thanks a lot. I put that shit on I'm not exaggerating, but I'm a sauce hound. Like, if no matter what it is, I will put sauce on it. I order things because of the sauce. I love sauces and hot sauces, barbecue sauces, anything. So much so that if I get pizza, I put like buffalo sauce on it. If I just order like a regular pepperoni pizza, I will have buffalo sauce at the house and I'll put it on it, you know, or anything. Daddle pepper is the same. That Sorensen sauce, man, I put that shit on pizza. I put it on like home sandwiches that I make. I put it on Ritz crackers just to eat. Yeah, I like my Sorensen sauce, man. It's too good. Did you get the giant firehouse or the fire hydrant glass bottle, or did you get the squeeze bottle that's a little easier to manage? I always go for the squeeze bottle just because it's easier to manage. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, Vince, and enjoy. I was putting sriracha on everything now, and sriracha mayo is good. Yeah, absolutely. We make chicken and yellow rice a lot, and I put sriracha mayo on that quite a bit. But yeah, anyway, this is just a food stream. Everybody, tell me what your favorite food is, and your favorite sauce specifically. And Mark, thank you so much for the channel support. Is it Hagood or Haygood? I'm assuming it's not Haygood. Is it Hagood? Mark Hagood, thank you so much for the channel support this evening, man. Mark says, as I burp up the lightest beer in the world. Oh, man. All right. Mark says, back to the 43 years since A New Hope. I'm the same age my dad was when he took me to see it in 96. In 3 years. So how old? I'm gonna. Oh, it's Haygood. Okay, it's Haygood. How old are you? I'm trying to do the math in my head. In 3 years, my daughter will be old enough. Well, I guess the math wouldn't even work because I don't know how old your daughter or dad was. In 3 years, my daughter will be old enough to watch. 3 generations watching together will be amazing. Yeah, that's pretty mind blowing, right? Star Wars is like it's without a doubt a generational thing, right? And it's kind of like modern mythology, right? In the old ancient days, people used to pass down tales around the campfire of great gods rowing across canoes in the sky and bringing the daylight. It's modern mythology, right? in a completely different form. And it's kind of neat when you think of it that way, right? Passing down these stories, these lessons in these movies. But yeah, that's awesome, man. My daughter is going to be 2 in April. And, you know, she already knows Chewbacca. She already knows D2D2, which is R2D2. She knows the Star Wars logo, the music. If she sees something, she saw I have a NASA hat, and she pointed at it and said Star Wars. So it's funny, like whatever looks kind of spacey is Star Wars to her. But 30, I may be off. I have a few beers myself. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. You all have to, you know, in the not too distant future when more movies come out, you know, take her to the theater and share the love among 3 generations. It's really cool to think about. Really cool to think about. But yeah, man, I'm so excited. I'm in no rush. You know, they grow up quick, so I'm in no rush to introduce her to the movies just because that means she's older. But I'm very excited to kind of sit down and watch the saga with her and, you know, explain to her what's going on and see how she reacts. And if she likes it, awesome. If she doesn't like it, awesome. You know, I'm more than willing to throw on a little Minnie Mouse outfit, play some Tea Party, which I've done quite a bit, which I'm sure you have as well. But yeah, we'll train them as Jedi like their fathers before them. Absolutely, man. Yep. So, yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. I bought my daughter a Chewbacca, like, I guess, teddy bear, Chewbacca teddy bear when I was out in LA at Disneyland, Galaxy's Edge. Brought it home, and now she carries him around, feeds him fake food from her fake kitchen, and it's just kind of funny. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, Mark. It's pretty awesome to think about. Tea parties in space are pretty awesome. Yeah, she has a tent. We got her a tent for Christmas, or Santa got her a tent for Christmas, like a teepee kind of thing. And I closed the doors to it, and she likes to play Rocket. I just realized that I'm very, very, I'm unintentionally leading her towards the things that I'm interested in. I guess that's only natural.
I hope they don't go the Vader route in the Obi show. I'd rather see him take down cartels or swoop gangs terrorizing citizens in Mos Eisley and Wayfair. He's supposed to be in hiding from 66. Brandon,
thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate that. Give me one sec. Yeah, we play Rocket, and I'll shut the tent doors, and I'll shake the tent, and then she'll, walk out, and I'll say, "You're on the moon," and she'll jump around and hop. It's fun. It's too fun. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. And Vince Wen, thank you so much for the channel support once again. If they bring Vader to Kenobi series, Vader from A New Hope, I sense something, a presence I haven't felt since last month. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, it would feel goofy to me, to tell you the truth, because not only that, there's lines of dialogue and things like that obviously would conflict with if Vader did approach Obi-Wan in this show or whatever. Not only that, but it's also I lost my train of thought. If Vader happens to be on Tatooine, Mos Eisley, whatever, or an Imperial presence is there and spots Obi-Wan, I mean, when we see Obi-Wan in A New Hope, he almost barely remembers events of the past. He's kind of caught off guard when Luke brings some things up, right? And to have Vader or any kind of Imperial remnant or Imperial, I don't know, garrison or anything approach him, discover his position, would kind of throw a monkey wrench into the whole narrative in the machine. Because there he is. He's been hiding out, right? He's supposed to be hiding out. As far as post A New Hope goes, I suppose. Because in A New Hope, it always just seemed like, yeah, Obi-Wan left that life, and he's just kind of living on Mos Eisley, and, you know, maybe nobody's searching for him, and he's just hanging out. No longer what he used to be. But it would kind of feel really weird if he was caught or spotted on Tatooine, and he just decided to stay there. I don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah. That would be funny, Vince. I'd make a video for sure. I'd make a video. But I appreciate that, man. And the Joker, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Are we going to the Roadhouse through the door? Are we talking about the doors again? Of course. Wait, sure. Like I said, we briefly, was that last stream, Joker? You asked me, I think you asked me if I'm a fan of the Doors. And we both, I believe, said that our favorite song from them is Roadhouse Blues, which is absolutely my favorite song. And you heard me talk about this, but before I went to boot camp, I decided to drive up to see some family in Ohio. So I drove up from Florida to Ohio and hung out there for a couple weeks just to kind of, prepare, just clear my head and hang out, kind of veg out and figure out what I wanted to do. And Roadhouse Blues was one of those songs that I was blasting. I was blasting it in my 1995 white Ford Explorer. I was blasting that shit the whole drive up. It was yesterday. Okay, nice. So, yeah, Roadhouse Blues, man. Just a good toe tapper, right? For sure. But yeah, I appreciate that, Joker. Tomorrow when we're eating dinner, I'm gonna say, Alexa, play Roadhouse Blues by the Doors, and we'll get into it. My daughter loves music, man. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. And Brandon Gray 666, thank you so much as well for the channel support this evening, man. I hope they don't go the Vader route and the Obi show. I'd rather see him take down cartels or swoop gangs terrorizing citizens in Mos Eisley and way far. He's supposed to be in hiding from 66. Yeah, I completely agree. And could they do it? Sure, right? They could, and I hope they don't, like you said. But I would much rather see a very, very focused, small-scale story, like you said. Not even, and maybe not even taking down cartels or swoop gangs or anything like that, because maybe he thinks that's too risky to make his presence known, right? And maybe letting a lot of shady stuff slip by, and letting a lot of things that he wishes he could interfere in get all messed up because he doesn't want to be found out, kind of. And then he realizes he's being a coward and whatever, and just decides to help the citizens or whatnot. But I'm sure something like that would happen, right? But no, I'm in complete agreement. It's way more interesting to me Obi-Wan being on Tatooine, no Imperial personnel knows he's there, never spots him, and he's kind of living this life of solitude, this self-imposed isolation. That to me sounds way more interesting than just having, Vader show up and whatever, I don't know, some kind of Inquisitor thing show up and some kind of something show up and Obi-Wan has to pull out the lightsaber and do some lightsaber stuff. That, whatever, that doesn't sound interesting to me. I would much rather it be a very small scale show that really, really is almost like a character study, but yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, Brandon. I couldn't agree more. And Daniel Ambrose, thank you so much for the channel support this evening, man. Daniel, we're having a cute off between BD1, Dio, or BB8. A cute off. Well, let me pull them all up on the screen just to have a visual reference. I like Dio's voice. That was fun. But all right, so I like the design. I think I like the design of BB-8 more than any of the other ones. You know, I remember seeing the teaser trailer for The Force Awakens and seeing BB-8 kind of roll across the screen. I thought that was just such an ingenious droid design. I loved it, something different. And I'm going to go with BB-8. I'm going to go with BB-8 out of those three. I'm going to go with BB-8. BD-1 was fun. A good droid companion in the game. Dio, you know, I barely remember him in the movie. He had a presence, but I barely remember him, to tell you the truth. I remember liking his voice. I do remember liking his voice. So I'm gonna say BB-8. BB-8. A big ball of joy, and I will never forget seeing him roll across my screen in that teaser trailer for the first time and just being like, whoa, that's pretty cool looking, man. But yeah. Yeah. So BB-8 wins the competition there, Daniel. But I appreciate that, man. And Vince, when ever hear Peace Frog by the Doors? Oh, absolutely. I guess another Doors, not really story, but my LPO, my lead petty officer on deployment, and still to this day a good buddy of mine, actually has a Doors tattoo on his leg. And I believe it is, I'm pretty sure it's a frog reference or something. I can't remember exactly what it looks like in my head. But yeah, so absolutely. I've heard, like I've said, I'm not the biggest fan. I don't know the entire catalog, and I've never listened to them like as much as I've listened to, I don't know, like Bob Seger or the Beatles especially. But I'm familiar with them enough, and absolutely Peace Frog. Absolutely. Yeah, my buddy, I think I have a picture. I took a picture of his retirement on Instagram. He retired from the Navy maybe 3 years ago. He was my lead petty officer on deployment, and then he became chief, and then a couple of years later he retired. So, and he has a Doors tattoo on his leg, among other things. He said he's always wanted a Clockwork Orange tattoo too. He's never gotten one, but yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Vince. Oh, and Vince, once again, thank you so much for the channel support, man. I'm watching Secondhand Lions, and if anyone hasn't seen it, I swear it's one of the coziest movies ever made. Secondhand Lions. I've never heard of this. A shy adolescent boy, Walter, is taken by his greedy mother to spend the summer with his two hard-boiled great uncles, who are rumored to possess a great fortune. At first, the two old men, both set in their ways, find Walter's presence a nuisance, but they eventually warm up to the boy and regale him with tall tales from their past. In return, Walter helps reawaken their youthful spirit. That does sound like a cozy one. Let's see. It has Haley Joe Osment in it. Did I say Joe? Haley Joe. It has Michael Caine in it and Robert Duvall. I've never heard of this. Michael Caine and Robert Duvall. Huh. I've never heard of this. That sounds, yeah. It's funny when you Google a movie, it's often like it shows the IMDb rating on the right hand side and the Rotten Tomatoes and like Metacritic and maybe a Google rating or something like that. This one shows a Walmart rating. Walmart shoppers love this damn movie, man. That's funny. So nope, I've never heard of this ever. Never heard of this. That sounds like something that I'd be into. I'll watch the trailer after this stream. Interesting. Mark says Secondhand Lions is amazing. I'm the only one that doesn't know this movie? I've never heard of this movie. Interesting. I'll have to check that out. Locklam, I actually started writing a video actually kind of about that. It has, how do you get a word count? Can you do a word count? Probably have 8 minutes worth of text here that I'm looking at. I just pulled up the text document. And it basically starts off by saying, no matter what the organization, in whatever industry, whether it be sports, automotive, tech, politics, movies, games, you name it, public perception, public outrage, public scrutiny is often focused to the tip top of that totem pole. Despite thousands of other individuals being involved in calling the shots alongside the head of the snake, when one believes a discrepancy exists, it's easier to blame a singular face than it is to think about the big picture. And that's how this video actually starts. So, I'm actually working on something kind of similar to what you're talking about there. Wow. Oh, man. Would get into Doctor Who. Joker, I've watched maybe, I think 2 episodes in my entire life of Doctor Who. They were with the guy from 28 Days Later. The guy who is like a militia leader. I don't even know what his role technically was, but what is that guy? What is that actor's name? Christopher Eccleston. Okay. It has the episodes that I saw had him in it. And you know, for whatever reason, I just couldn't get into it. I don't know why. It seems like something that would be up my alley. It seems like something that I would be really into. And for whatever reason, the 2 episodes that I did watch, and maybe I should watch some other, the show's been around forever. Maybe I should watch some different ones, but they didn't really do much for me. And I've never really given the show a chance, but yeah. I would love a good modern Superman game. I would love a good modern Superman movie. Damn it. See, well, I say that, but I'm the most boring Superman fan ever. I like my Superman just being a good dude. I just like Superman being just saving kittens out of trees and pulling people out of burning buildings, and then fighting the bad guy, right? But I like my Superman to be very cheesy. I like my Clark Kent as much as I like my Superman. So, yeah, you brought up a game. Yeah, that would be fun. You could do it really, really well nowadays with the technology. I mean, imagine a game like GTA or Red Dead, right? I always go to those games as examples of huge open world games that work. You could fly around like Superman, and you could just save random people, stop crime. It would just be a world where you are Superman doing the exact opposite of the things that you would do if you were playing GTA, I would love that. Yeah. I would love that. We got a good Shazam movie. I still haven't seen that, Catherine. That's on my list of things I want to see. That looked like a lot of fun. I don't know any of the reception. I haven't seen anybody's review, or how that was received. People seem to like it, according to these scores that I'm seeing on multiple websites. So, yeah, that movie looked like a lot of fun to me. I'd like to see it. Superman should be a guy who's so powerful, but he tries to show restraint. Yeah, that's a huge part of the character, right? The most powerful being on the planet, who can literally turn back time. He's a god, right? He's a god among men. And he chooses to use it for good, sparingly, with restraint. He pulls out the bank robbers and drops him off in front of a cop who's eating a donut in front of his squad car and says, "Take him away." That's my Superman. But yeah. I do like Man of Steel personally. Isaac, I liked the first half maybe. I haven't seen that movie since I saw it in the theater when it first came out. So you know, I don't really remember at what part it left me off, but I remember liking a lot of the origin stuff, a lot of the early stuff. I remember liking a lot of that kind of stuff. That's hard to mess up, right? If you're doing like a Superman a little origin story and him growing up and whatnot, just make it wholesome, right? Fun and wholesome. Yeah. But yeah. Shazam is one of my favorite films. Yeah, I still need to see it, man. Vince loved Shazam to death. You even added the exclamation mark in there. That's kind of like when people forget the little dash in the old Spider-Man, right? But no, I'd like to see it. I don't know if you guys heard. You probably have, but there's a comic called Red Sun. It's a Superman book. It's kind of an alternate history Superman, whatever. But it's a fun little concept where instead of Superman landing in the United States, he lands in the Soviet Union, and he's raised by these like Soviet ideals. And it's just kind of a really, really, really interesting concept, and just kind of, I don't know, a fun alternate take, alternate little reality there, the old Superman. But yeah. Vince Wynn, thank you so much for the channel support this evening, man. He saves Cat from a tree in the 78 movie and gives it to a little girl. Absolutely. Little girl runs inside and tells her mother, and you hear mom slap the shit out of her. Really? I've never noticed that. That's funny. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's, I grew up on that movie, man. I probably haven't seen it in 10 years from start to finish. But, that's what I like about Superman. I think that's why I liked Superman Returns. I like Superman Returns more than Man of Steel, even. Just because it is that, like, it kind of brought Superman, well, it didn't bring him back because it never jetted off to Man of Steel or Batman vs. Superman, that kind of stuff. But I don't know, it felt like the humble Superman that I know and love, But yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that again. My daughter likes Superman. It's kind of a cool story. My dad's mom got me a Superman, and she passed away when I was 3 or 4, very young. But she got me a Superman like 12-inch doll that stands up on a stand, and it's it's a hard plastic doll, and it's Superman. And she got that for me in 1987. I was 1 year old, and I've had that ever since. And it's often been, sitting on my desk or something like that in every office that I've ever had. But now since I have a kid now, I let her fly it around and run around with it, and yeah. But yeah. Could you hear my daughter? It sounded like she was crying.
Yeah, I was thinking like a conflict with Jabba's cartel is crumbling from a war with another cartel. That would be the one Kenobi takes down accidentally securing Hutt supremacy.
Oh, that would be interesting. That'd be interesting, Brandon. I appreciate that, man. I'll get to that for sure. I like that idea. And like these perceived good deeds backfiring, right? Blowback, as it's called in the CIA. Blowback. Give me 1 sec, Brandon. Give me 1 sec. But yeah, Vince, I'm with you. Not with you. You didn't give an opinion there, but I need to watch that again. Well, yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Sergio, good to see you. Thank you so much for the channel support. Abrams bringing back Palpatine proved that he had no faith in his own characters. Also, I really want a Star Wars spy thriller TV show. HelloGreedo. I love the idea of a spy thriller TV show. I actually had a conversation recently. The podcast should go up next week, I believe the guy said, and as soon as that comes out, I don't know if he wants me to spoil guests and stuff like that. So I'll as soon as that that video or that podcast becomes available, I'll blast it on Twitter. But we had a conversation about Star Wars and different genres it could take on, and the one that I brought up, because somebody actually brought up on a live stream, is like a film noir, like a detective. I would love a Star Wars detective movie, right? Or series, TV series. But a spy thriller TV show would be a lot of fun too. Kind of a mole in the system would be absolutely fantastic. And I think in the future, Sergio, we can't keep doing the same thing, blasters and lightsabers and X-Wings and TIE fighters and all that kind of stuff. Eventually, I think they're going to have to go out on a limb and try some new stuff. Maybe some genre films, like a spy thriller or a detective story. And I think for the franchise to stay fresh and innovative and inventive, going down these random roads of storytelling and genres would be really interesting, So, yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. That sounds like a blast. And yeah, my opinion on Palpatine being back. When it was first revealed at Celebration, especially on live streams, I was pretty apprehensive. I was very like, we'll see, but you guys know what I think of constantly bringing back old characters, right? You guys know how I feel. But I ultimately reserved judgment until I saw how it was going to be executed. So, with that being said, when I sat down in the theater, I kind of had this gut feeling as soon as the crawl started. I was like, oh man, I'm not going to like this. But yeah, it's pretty unimaginative to me. And yeah, anyway, Sergio, I appreciate that, man. And Brandon Gray and Commonwealth Realm, thank you guys so much for the channel support this evening. Brandon Gray says, yeah, I was thinking like a conflict with Jabba's cartel is crumbling with a war with another cartel. That would be the one Kenobi takes down, accidentally securing Hutt supremacy in the underworld. I like that idea. I like the idea of heroes, I guess, failing, having faults, and accidentally creating catastrophes or doing things that have unintentional consequences, negative ramifications to the actions that they perceive as being do-gooder actions, right? So Kenobi maybe taking down a cartel that's a rival cartel to the Hutts. Something like that would be a really interesting thing that sets events in motion and whatnot. Granted, I believe the Hutts were a pretty big crime family before the events, before the events of Order 66 and A New Hope and all that stuff. But but maybe you could spin that. Yeah, you could absolutely put multiple cartels on Tatooine and they're vying for power and whatnot. So that could easily be done, right? Easily could be done. So yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, like I said, unintended consequences from your actions is what the CIA calls blowback. I love me some, you went in with good intentions, but hey, you can't predict everything. Some bad shit's gonna happen, right, Kenobi? But yeah, Brandon, I like that idea a lot. So I appreciate that channel support this evening, man. And Commonwealth Realm, thank you so much for the channel support as well, man. Will you make a video on the leaked Duel of the Fates Episode 9 script and concept art? Really want to hear your opinion. Love from Hoth/Norway. Nice. I got Norwegian roots in me. So eventually, one sec, sorry. All right. Eventually I will, I think. I actually, to tell you the truth, I haven't really looked at it too deeply. All I've seen is like a base periphery level of information from like random tweets that I've seen people tweet out, right? No, I was a little like hands off with it for a while until it was kind of confirmed by Trevorrow. How do you say that? I don't know if I've ever heard that pronounced. So now I'm a little more interested in it. So I don't know when I'll get around to doing that. I kind of want to read the script and look at all the concept art, get a good kind of big shovel scoop of all the information before I start talking about it, before I start talking into the microphone. So, yeah, eventually I think I will. It's just taken me a while to actually, I don't know, find the time to sit down and actually kind of investigate it all. But yeah, that would be a fun video to make too. Going at a thing that doesn't exist and maybe thinking of what could have been. I've seen a lot of people say, that's the movie that they wanted. I've seen a lot of people that I know and trust that say, yeah, I mean, the complete opposite of that. But yeah, I'll that will definitely be added. In fact, let me go ahead and create the folder in my pictures folder. It goes G:\pictures HelloGreedo. And file number 903. Duel of the Fates. There we go. I'll go ahead and keep that in my file, just so next time I go here to look at all the videos that I want to make, it is staring right at my face. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. In Story Room, thank you so much for the channel support as well this evening. Story Room says, has anyone ever recognized your voice in public? Not in public. I have had people approach me at events. One guy recognized my wedding ring at a like an EA event, which was kind of funny. But I have had people recognize my voice when I'm playing games with my buddies. Like if we're playing, I've had somebody recognize my voice when I played Counter-Strike years ago. Only after starting this channel for a couple of years, I played Counter-Strike, and then somebody recognized it. I've had people recognize it in Postscriptum. I've had people recognize it in some other games too. And then I have people that recognize the name, because sometimes I go into games with my name being HelloGreedo. And then I sit back and I go like, why did I do that? I can't act like a fool on the microphone. But yeah, no, nobody's ever recognized it in public. I have had some like baggers at grocery stores look at my t-shirt and ask me about it. And a few of them have actually known about the channel, and I've actually introduced myself, which is kind of neat. That's been a while. I don't even know where my HelloGreedo shirts are anymore. In the move, I still have a box of t-shirts in the garage, so I need to find those. But yeah, anyway, Story Room, I appreciate that. Cool question, for sure. Cool question. And Vince Wynn coming in with the final super chat and channel support of the stream before I jump off. Taking a quick sip. Vince Wynn says Star Wars Episode 10, The Emperor's New Groove. I've never seen The Emperor's New Groove. What year did that come out? There's going to be so many movies that I've never seen. So 2000. It's kind of surprising that I've never seen that. There's going to be so many movies, dude, that I've never seen, that when my daughter gets older and wants to run through the catalog, that we're going to end up watching. I'm looking forward to it, but never seen it. Never seen The Emperor's New Groove. Star Wars Episode 10. The Emperor's New Groove. No more Emperor, please. No more Death Stars. No more super weapons. No more lightning into space. But yeah. Let's see. Yes, Sickhead. Yeah, I've been saying that for a while, man. He says, y'all realize they're gonna make an episode 10, right? Let's not kid ourselves that they've ended it. Yeah, I've been saying that since the time that they announced that this was the final episode film. I've said, yeah, right. I mean, it might take 30 years, but It might take 30 years because in 30 years, a whole new cast of people are going to be in charge of Star Wars, and you think they're going to want to sit on their hands and say, 30 years ago, they said this was the last one, so we're not going to make any more. Yeah, right. We're going to see more episodic films in maybe the distant future, but it'll happen. No question about it in my mind.
It would fit the theme of the Jedi always getting involved for the right reason but always fail. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Also, the Galactic War could change that HUT dynamic.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Brandon Gray, thank you so much for the channel support this evening. Brandon Gray says, it would fit the theme of the Jedi always getting involved for the right reason but always fail. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Also, the Galactic War could change that HUT dynamic. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of the Ahsoka book in a way, right? Her presence is, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but there is kind of a moment where her actions have pretty negative consequences on the people that she was trying to help, right? So, yeah, I like it as a concept. I absolutely like it as a concept, and it kind of parallels a lot of, I don't know, real world stuff, in a way, when, especially my nation tries to kind of meddle in a lot of affairs of other governments and whatnot. There is a long history of that backfiring across the globe. So there's some real life parallels there as well. So, but I like it as a concept. I like it as, the more you meddle, the more you mess. That's a pretty good phrase there. The more you meddle, the more you mess. Or the more you meddle, the more you make a mess. That doesn't sound as good. The more you meddle, the more you mess. The more you meddle, the more you muck it up. I don't know. There's a phrase in there somewhere. Brandon. But no, I really like the concept, and ideally, the Kenobi show or whatever it's going to be would be something similar like that to me. Relatively small scale focused show, focusing on one aspect of the galaxy, one planet, one location, and the posturings of everybody involved in that location. And maybe Obi has to find his place and all of that, and maybe just lays low and lets some horrendous shit happen. And I don't know. I like it. I like it as a concept, Brandon. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. Sounds like a book title. Yeah. The more you meddle, the more you mess. Oh, man. I half expect Star Wars to make its way to our galaxy and cross over with Marvel, God forbid. No crossovers. Would you like to see a Star Wars Star Trek crossover? No. Why? What would you have? Would you have Luke drinking a Pepsi? Well, this Pepsi's great. It was invented in 1876. No. I don't want that. Unnecessary. Seems like we have some good concepts. There you go. Let's write a script. Let's write a script and leak it out, and pretend that it's a real leak. That'd be fun, right? There's definitely people that do that. Oh, this is the intro song. C-3PO and Data going on an adventure. They'd be so confused by one another. You guys are aware that Star Wars and Marvel will cross over at some point, right? Nah, I mean, like, if it's some silly, fun comic, absolutely, I'm all for that kind of stuff. Let's have fun with it, right? Let's let's make some silly stuff. I'm all for that. But like a movie, zero interest in it. Zero interest, something like that. Oh, yeah. Look, I'm a Star Wars Insider channel now. Always, I wish there was like a batting average for YouTubers with, that kind of do the whole quote-unquote leak thing. I wish there was a batting average that you could look at and see a percentage and see that they're batting a big fat goose egg. Yeah. Have you seen the Picard show? Play Doom Eternal already. I will. Is it out? No, it's not out yet, right? Comes out middle of this year? When does it come out? Oh, it just says 2020. Okay. Yeah, I've seen the first episode, Play Doom. You know, it's not, it didn't really do much for me. The stuff that I liked in the Picard show was the big stuff at the beginning of the episode where we see his life and what he's doing now, and I thought that was well done. I liked that. He's kind of restless, and he feels a little, I don't know, like the world has passed him by, and I liked that stuff. I liked that stuff. But then it kind of lost me, and it kind of felt like a big generic nothing. But yeah, I mean, I'll continue to watch it. Like I said, I haven't watched the second episode yet. Eventually, I'll get around to doing it. But, yeah, before I do that, I probably should finish up the 6th season of the Clone Wars, right? Do you agree the concept of canon is arbitrary? Sear Smash channel. To a certain extent, yeah. To a certain extent, I've never been a hyper canon head. I've never been a hyper like canon detail guy. I've never been one to think that certain like the Holdo maneuver, right? A lot of people had an issue with that. I didn't have it at all. I guess it's just two different perspectives. I see the Holdo maneuver as a really powerful scene in a film, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Some people, it's like opening a book of canon, and then it's like they have reasons for why these things can't happen. I've never been one to like, I've never been a big canon or detail oriented, and in that respect, Star Wars viewer. So I see what you're saying. To a certain extent, I agree. I don't feel the rigidity of canon should ever kind of trump creative freedom, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. No, have you tried Halo Reach PC? Doom. I've never played, I've only played the first Halo game. That's the only Halo game I've ever played. And it was the couch multiplayer back on the original Xbox. So that's the only Halo game I've ever played. And the reason behind that is because Halo was never available on the PC, and I've always primarily been a PC gamer. You know, so, and I know they're all on the PC now. I think they're all on the PC now. So, but I have no plans to play them. Nowadays I really only play games with my buddies, and we're kind of selective with what we play, and we're all short on time, so we usually just play things that I don't know, that we all have an interest in, and we all kind of agree to play. But yeah. All right, guys. So let me see. That was a little over an hour. Nice. So tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to do a stream tomorrow. We'll see. If I do, it'll probably be around the same time tomorrow, like 7:30, 7 p.m. Eastern time, around there. If I don't, then I won't see you guys until Monday. But yeah. Anyway. All right, guys. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. If you are going to watch the Super Bowl, have a blast, man. Sit back, enjoy it. It's a fun watch. Every year, it's always a good time. And yeah, enjoy your weekend. So let's see. Yeah, if I don't see you tomorrow, I won't see you guys until... Well, I take that back. I might do a daytime Sunday stream. Well, we'll see. Or just work on some videos. But yeah. Anyway. To everybody who supported the channel this evening, I greatly appreciate it. The channel survives because of you guys. To everybody who tuned in on this Friday evening. Friday evening streams are usually pretty low-key. Because people are... It's the weekend, and I don't know. What are they doing? What are the people doing that don't have children? And what are they doing? Are they sitting on the couch on their phone? What are they doing? What do those kids do nowadays? They watch streams. That's what they do. They watch streams. All right, guys. Yeah, you too, man. You too, Mark. And you too as well, Sapity. But all right, guys, I will either see you Saturday or Sunday or Monday or Tuesday or sometime. I don't know when my next stream will be, but I will see you when I see you. All right, cool. All right, so have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever the hell you are on this planet we call Earth, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Let's end it with a fun... Oh, let's end it... Yeah, let's end it with a upbeat, fun song. All right, guys. See ya.